Please welcome to the stage former PGA Commissioner Tim Finchem.
Thank you and good evening. I became commissioner of the PGA Tour about 25 years ago. And a few months after I became commissioner, one of my first trips was down here to Houston. I was introduced to Jackie Burke. And he said, well, in your position, you must know the folks at the USGA. I said, yeah, I do. And he said, would you give them a message for me? And I said, sure, what's that? And he said, tell them that USGA stands for United States Golf Association. It doesn't stand for New York Golf Association or New Jersey Golf Association. It's the United States Golf Association. So I conveyed that message, and the U.S. Women's Open is coming to Champions next year, so it's great. Jackie Burke is every bit an icon in our sport, and first let's start with his competitive record. He won 16 times on the PGA Tour. He was Player of the Year in 1956, where he won the Masters and the PGA Championship that year. His green jacket resides in the Champions Locker that he shares with Tiger Woods, which is nice company to have. He then gravitated after his competitive career to investing all his time and energy in the game, starting with the Champions Club. And I know a lot of you travel around and play golf different places. I don't know of a club in the United States that has quite the competitive culture that Jackie has created at Champions. When you think about 200 members with handicaps of 2 or better, 300 or 400 who are single-digit handicaps, and a philosophy of that when somebody is going to join the club and their handicap is above 14, they can't become a full member till they work on their game and get their capability down below 14. I mean, it's an amazing story, and it's all because of Jackie Burke and his passion and his commitment. Now, I don't know whether it's mainly because of his competitive record or mainly because of Champions or mainly that he's just such a unique individual, but or the fact that he married one of the great women in Texas with Robin, just fantastic, who's a great player in her own right. But in the last number of years, he's been inducted into the Texas Sports Hall of Fame, the Texas Golf Hall of Fame, the World Golf Hall of Fame. He's recognized as a PGA Tour, from the PGA Tour for Lifetime Achievement, one of only 9 people who have that recognition. And he has been awarded the Bobby Jones Award from the USGA for all of his efforts. So you know what I think about Jackie. Now let's take a minute and see what another friend of ours has to say about this icon.
Jackie, congratulations. I am thrilled that you are getting this most meritorious recognition tonight. You have been a part of the Houston landscape for well over a half century and beyond. Not trying to date you, but I'm sure everybody knows about all the major championships you won, including the one that's most special to me, the 1956 Masters Tournament, which happened to be the first Masters Tournament ever televised on CBS. And no, I was not there broadcasting it. Close, but not quite. Another thing a lot of people may not know is that Jackie has always been one to lend a helping hand. To golfers, I'm talking top-tier worldwide golfers who have come in and been given great advice, things that changed careers for nothing. Jackie's always been one that's tried to help people, young people, whether they're in golf or not in the sport. He just has a way about him of leading. And tonight, I am just thrilled that it's your night and that you are being saluted as one of the true Houston Hall of Famers in the world of sport. You deserve it, Jackie Burke. Congratulations. You are truly a Hall of Famer.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome tonight's first inductee into the Houston Sports Hall of Fame, my good friend, Jackie Burke. Jackie.
Jack, it's not the green jacket again, so it's purely, that's okay. All right. You got it?
Are you going to have something to say?
No?
I need you.
You know, this is just like taking a lesson from Jackie.
I don't have to tell you what a exciting evening it is. Just getting from North Houston into Houston is a... I feel like I was still in the Marine Corps. We have the game is about rules. All games are about rules. The fellows that I'm going into the Hall of Fame with, all of them do it, are involved in rules. It's amazing. The USGA has 34 rules. God only put 10 down here. If we could adhere to those, the jails would be empty. My dad was from Philadelphia, and he came down with a man named Donald Ross, probably the best architect ever, and they built River Oaks Country Club. When my dad first came down, the game was called Cow Pasture Pool. The farmers would just hit balls out there while they were feeding their cows. And so I was brought up in a caddy yard. When I was 9, I was shooting dice. So I've been around gamblers all my life, and Houston's one of them. They're everywhere in this town, and I'm with them. There's 4 T's in this game: tension, timing, tempo, and trust it. Now, you didn't know I was going to give you a lesson tonight. The tempo, you're eating tonight and you're timing that food. You're not just slapping that food in your face. You're timing that steak we had a while ago. The tension is trying to be sure, you know. Of golf, you got to be. You don't need a lesson. You need a doctor. This is It's a tough game to master, and the game is really a game about rules, and the people that you're playing with, and letting it go. Just there's a certain recklessness in being good. I can't name it in other sports, but I know at times I sure hated to have to hit this dadgum golf ball from where I was. And but we're trying to. My dad tried to bring the game this way, and Jimmy Demerit and I built this club. I knew a guy named Vickers, Jack Vickers.
Yep.
And I asked him one time, I said, Vickers, do you think Demerit and I could pull a club off in this city? He said, I do, and I'll be the advertising guy, and y'all can pay me down the road. So he came with this name, Champion. I said, well, that sounds like a takeoff on the Masters. He said, if I'm going to do it, that's the name. So that name came from Vickers. And
Well, Jack, huh? That's a great story. We want to thank you so much because, as Demerit would say, we're getting ready to start the piano roll right now. But I want to speak for everybody in this room to thank you so much for bringing big-time golf to Houston, the Ryder Cup, the U.S. Open, and nobody is more deserving of this award than Jackie Burke Jr. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.